Paul Schrade, as a personal friend of Robert F. Kennedy's, what is your reaction to this new development, the new audio evidence that has come to light of late?
Well, I was surprised that we found it 40 years later, but I'm very satisfied that we've got really good scientific information now that backs up all the physical evidence we discovered in the pantry at the Ambassador Hotel after the shooting that night. There are bullet holes that were identified by the police department of Los Angeles and by the FBI. And what this new scientific information on this audio tape, it backs all that up. Very strong. I don't see how it can be refuted unless somebody uses the same kind of technology and methodology that was used by the audio engineer and forensic scientist Philip Van Praagh. He's done some new work, and I don't think I see how it can be refuted by anybody.
We understand that you'd like a new investigation into the murder of Robert Kennedy. Tell us about that and your efforts there.
Well, I helped start the investigation in 1975. Actually, I moved out of Los Angeles. I was so devastated by losing my friend and leader, Robert Kennedy. I moved out to the desert outside Los Angeles, and by 1975, my wife decided that we ought to go back to Los Angeles. Actually, I married her during that period, and we moved back to Los Angeles. I actually got involved on the recommendation of former Congressman Allard Lowenstein, who headed the Dump Johnson movement. And he said, Paul, you were a victim in that shooting. You have court opportunities to really challenge the case. So we began investigating the case and found out there was strong basis for the second gunman in the pantry that night, beyond Sirhan shooting, who was the person accused and who was tried and convicted.
So in an effort, any effort to reopen the RFK murder investigation, I mean, will those be focused on a local city level? What about a state or national level?
Well, it might be all of those. I don't know if we can really get local action. After all, it was the police department in Los Angeles and the district attorneys that investigated this case, that shut it down quickly, destroyed evidence of the second gunman, and just left us without any answers. We've been developing answers over the years, and now we have strong evidence based upon this audio tape of 13 shots, 2 double shots, the make and the model of the gun, and the directionality of those shots into the back of Robert Kennedy.
As you said, on the night that Robert Kennedy was shot, you were not only there in that kitchen pantry, you were shot yourself, along with 4 others. All 5 of you survived. It was only the senator who died of his wounds. Take us through the crucial moments, what you remember of that night 40 years ago.
Well, I was with him upstairs waiting to make the decision to go downstairs. And he took a few of us into the bedroom and we worked on his notes for his victory speech. We went downstairs and through the kitchen and onto the platform in the embassy ballroom of the Ambassador Hotel, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience because he was running behind early on in the election, and this was, 12:15 a.m. in the morning when he was to make his victory speech. He thanked many of the people, especially those who worked the precincts and got out the vote, and a few of us who were his friends and also in his campaign. And we left the platform. I got into the pantry area behind the platform before he did. And when he came in, he said, Paul, I want you and Jess Unruh with me. Jess Unruh was the chair of the campaign and also Speaker of the State Assembly. And I saw Jess and I waved him on, and Bob then stopped and shook hands with two kitchen workers. I know who they are now. I didn't know then. Jose Perez and Juan Romero. There's a very special story about Juan that's developed over the years. But I thought that was my last thought was, you know, we really have got a president who understands. He knows the problems of these kitchen workers, and you just see on the expressions on their faces that they had faith and hope in this guy. We turned to proceed on to a print media press conference on the other side of the pantry, and I got shaking violently. I didn't know I'd been shot, but I thought I was being electrocuted. And so I fell and passed out, and took some time before I regained consciousness.
All right, so you lost consciousness. You were shot in the forehead, I understand. One of
Yes.
the bones of contention from the Bobby Kennedy case is whether the senator was turned away from Sirhan or was actually facing him when the first shots were fired. With that issue in mind, I mean, is your memory of that night clear enough to know which way Robert Kennedy was facing?
Well, I know that he turned away from these two kitchen workers who were off to the left of us. He turned and then proceeded through the pantry. I know that he was facing Sirhan because I was right behind him a few feet. I got hit in the center of the forehead, which means that the gun fired by Sirhan was a bullet from the Sirhan gun that hit me, because I was facing Sirhan, as was Robert Kennedy. He was shot in the back with 4 shots, 3 of which wounded him. 1 went through the shoulder pad of his coat, back to front, and we know now that the shooter, the second gunman, we have proof of that second shooter, was behind us and off to our right. Sirhan was off to the left and in front of us.
Do you think you know who killed your friend?
No, I don't, and that's why we've got to proceed rapidly with this investigation, because there's someone else out there. And I am hopeful that we can convince law enforcement and district attorney in Los Angeles to do something about it.
We understand you're hoping to arrange a meeting between authorities and the 2 forensic experts you were talking about there, Robert Joling and Philip Van Praag. What can you tell us about that?
We are proceeding with that. We're negotiating for time and a date. But the first thing we really have to do, and we're doing that, is to recruit new volunteer attorneys to handle this case. And I think we've recruited some, and we're very hopeful in getting started. And with those attorneys, then we will approach the Los Angeles Police Department and district attorney. They may claim a conflict of interest because they were wrong about this back in the 68 and beyond. So we may have to go to the state, we may have to go to the federal government to get some sort of resolution of this case.
Mr. Schrade, it's an honor to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Well, thank you, Adrian.